Hey there, it's Seb Frey here with another exciting episode of It's a Seb Show. And today I want to talk about how to sell your house for more than the comps. Yes, that's right, selling your house above what other people are paying for other houses that are just like yours. Okay, so this is possible. It actually does happen, and actually it's happening a lot lately. So there are a number of factors which going into having a home which sells above the comps. So let's look at that. First of all, what really helps that happen is if you have actually a hot market. In a hot real estate market like this market that we're in right now, it's actually not that uncommon to see a house selling above the comps. But there's one thing is selling above the comps, and there's another thing which is selling way above the comps. And I think that's what people are mostly interested in doing. So I'll talk about that more. But just to begin with, it does help a lot to have a hot market where people are paying lots of money above what the last house just sold for, a month or two ago. So that's number one. Number two, if you want to have a sale above the comps, it really helps to have, of course, really great marketing. Now, a lot of people think that marketing doesn't necessarily matter so much, and there is some truth to that, because a lot of marketing is basically the same marketing, right? So you can actually have some kind of out-of-the-box marketing that really highlights the property and builds an anticipation and a sort of mystique around the property that sets in a sort of urge or anticipation in the buyers to get into that home, to really make it appear to be a much better value than the other properties. And if you market it that way, buyers will be predisposed to see it that way and possibly even pay for it that way, making them want to or feel like they are justified in paying more than the comparable sales. Now, of course, another great way to get your home to sell above the comparable sales is to have it be negotiated that way. Now, if you are a skillful negotiator and if you have multiple offers, it really helps to have, multiple offers. You can get buyers to bid against each other, have what's, a bidding war, or at least, as I like to say, a bidding skirmish. You get people to, fight against each other, and you can get them to sort of like make it be like an echo chamber and validate each other's choices and the desirability of the property, and get them to show themselves that the house is worth more than the comps. That's a really great way to get people to pay more than the comparables for a particular property. But I got to be honest, if you really want to sell your house for a lot more than all of the other similar homes in your neighborhood, you really have to be better than all the other homes in the neighborhood. You have to present a better value than all the other homes in the neighborhood. The buyers need to come in, look at your house and say, wow, this house is different. This house is better. This house has a greater value. I will pay a lot more for this house than I will for the other house, which is just like this house, only it doesn't have X, Y, or Z. And the question is, what is X, Y, and Z? And how can you make your house really stand out? It's one thing to spend $300,000 upgrading your house and then sell for $300,000 more than the comps, but what does that actually get you? Nothing. A bunch of finance charges actually are probably going to come out behind in the end. What you really want to do is you really want to do like $75,000 worth of upgrades and have that give you a $250,000 higher sales price. So how do you know which upgrades to do to your home? Well, that's a very, very good question, and I don't really want to get into that in this video because that would take quite a long time, and it is very specific to every home, every market. For example, some markets they might pay, like $25,000 for a new kitchen, which costs $25,000. Some other markets and other times might pay $60,000 for a $25,000 investment in your kitchen. It really, really depends. It's on a case-by-case basis. But by working with a talented realtor, a talented contractor, an interior designer, you will be able to figure out what improvements you can make to your home to really net out the highest amount of money at closing. And it is definitely an art, but there's definitely some science to it as well. Hey, if you ever want to talk about what you can do to your house to really make sure that you net the most money that you possibly can at closing, then guess what? give me a call, give me a ring, 800-489-8299. I'd love to talk about that with you. Or, of course, you could just shoot me a message on Facebook, Instagram, or wherever it may be that you are watching this episode of It's a Seb Show. All right, listen, that is it for this episode of It's a Seb Show. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it has been of some value to you. I'm all about providing that value. But would you do me a favor? Would you share this with somebody you know who is thinking about, how they can improve their net at closing when they go to sell their house? I would really appreciate it if you would do that for me. And also, you know what? I would love a comment. Comment would be awesome, or even a thumbs up or a share. A share online would be very terrific. All right. Thank you so much for watching this episode of It's a Seb Show. But don't worry. Hey, man, it's okay. It's okay. I'll have another episode up again before too long.